Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show.
This week on Today's Homeowner, we're taking on a cool kitchen makeover that's bound to give you some ideas and make a big change for one happy homeowner.
You think I can throw it in the dumpster?
Sure.
It'll make me feel great.
Kitchen renovations capture people's imagination. Maybe it's because there's so much you can do with one, or because there's so many dated kitchens out there. For Danette Richards, it's mostly the latter. She shares this beautiful older home with her 2 dogs, and it has lots of curb appeal, but the kitchen, not so much.
Well, the house was built in 1927, and I've lived here 22 years. It is my forever home, I believe. It was definitely a fixer-upper. Spent a lot of time, first few years, going through each room. After a few years, you know, you kind of move to something else, and the kitchen. The kitchen never got touched, and it is definitely in need of work. You know, kitchens are complicated and a little intimidating.
That sounds like my cue to check this kitchen out.
They cut the bottoms of the cabinets out,
wait
I
a minute.
guess, to
Wait
fit.
a minute.
Yeah, I guess to. I know.
Wow.
I guess they had to fit their refrigerator in, and they.
Well, you don't have a hood now. Originally, I guess there was a hood.
I had one just kind of put up like that, but
Yeah.
it never connected. And one day I was cleaning it, boom! It just fell off.
So it had to go.
It had to go. So I haven't really had a good vent hood, and I don't cook that much. That might be why.
Do you like this color?
Well, the problem with the color is this kitchen doesn't get a lot of light.
Right.
It stays really, really dark. That's why I have the shears here, just to try to get as much light as possible.
Yeah, that's great. And you know, the doors are fine, but there's a lot of ways to dress up existing doors and that kind of thing. Now, are you fond of the countertop?
Oh gosh, you just, yeah. Not necessarily. I really would like to have a new countertop that looks more current, more up to date, cool.
The old edge band like this is something that they did, I don't know, years and years they did that, but now, you know, things are built a little more sleek, a little more easier to clean, that type of thing, because I imagine you battled with that a lot. But I'll tell you what, everything you have here, we can make a big improvement without spending a lot of extra money. And I have a few ideas. I'll tell you what, let me get a few measurements. Let's make you know, a few notes here, and then let me see if I can put together a plan to figure this thing out.
That plan will include new countertops, a new range hood, and a solution for the cabinets that house it. So my daughter Chelsea and Danette head to the local Home Depot to select the materials we'll need.
Oh,
That looks really good.
I
It
think
matches.
I think we may have scored on that one.
Once everything is selected, Danette gets busy cleaning out the kitchen before Alan and I arrive to start taking it apart.
You're gonna have fun getting rid of your ugly countertop.
Oh, you better believe it. There we go.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a seam right there. I believe, Alan, that's just water damage. Yeah, that's water damage. It's falling apart.
Ah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All righty. You think I can throw it in the dumpster?
Sure.
Oh yeah. It'll make me feel great.
Once we have the appliances and the countertops removed,
Why is it crooked?
Because it's on my toe.
Alan and I can start checking out the cabinets.
I don't think we can rebuild these things. I think you need to tear all this out.
I think so too. I think we need, well, you're right, we need a 30 here. The refrigerator's small though, it's like a 30-inch refrigerator. Let's at least put a 33 on this side. Because if we do that, that gives us a 9-inch here, and that way we can bring that down to the height of this one, where it comes down to 30-inch level.
Yeah.
That gives us a spot to snug a new range hood, because there's no range hood here.
Yeah.
Danny, what do you say if we're doing that, let's put a 9-inch base down here to separate
Is there
that.
enough room there?
I think there's plenty of room for that 9. that
Well,
way
then you can put a little
separates.
section of countertop there.
Yeah, yeah. Because I hate seeing a stove right next to a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Let's give a buffer in there.
All the bacon grease gets right on the side of it.
It does. All right, I'm off to shop.
While Alan gets started building our new cabinets back at the shop, Danette and I get started removing the old ones.
Why don't you start bumping down on this right here, just see if we can get some movement.
Like that?
Uh-huh. There you go. All right, that's good.
Woo!
There you go. Just keep throwing it behind you there. Yeah, there you go. There
Man,
you
this
go.
makes you feel good, doesn't it?
It does.
Now what's up with that? Is that supposed
That's
to be
not
like
much
that?
ventilation. No, not at all.
Welcome to my house.
This will no longer be needed. You know, Danette, I don't really know if we did that by removing some of this or it's been that way, but it looks pretty dangerous.
Wow.
We're gonna have to get an electrician in here to take care of that part of it.
Well, Danny, I've got a really good friend, Mark,
Really?
who can take
Oh,
care of
perfect,
this.
Perfect.
He's
Well,
an electrician.
Well, we'll have to call him, and also to solve this mystery. I mean, this looks like a speaker wire.
Well, he can take care of that too.
Good, good. Because I'm
Whatever you
sure
think.
that's not sufficient for the new range hood we have. I don't know where that came from, but we'll get him to take care of that. But first thing we need to do is good old-fashioned task of removing wallpaper.
no.
So
While we get started on that chore, why don't you check out Joe's simple solution for this week?
One of the best accessories you can add to a kitchen sink is a pump soap dispenser. The problem is you have to refill them all the time, and here's the reason why. Attached to the pump is a very small reservoir. This little bottle only holds about a pint, so you're using it up all the time and you have to refill it. The challenge is, how do you refill it easily? Pouring it from the top works great, except you can't see how much soap is in there and then it overflows. So here's the solution. Go out and get a length of flexible rubber tubing. This is 1/4 inch diameter, and pull out the pump. What we're going to do is extend this fill tube with the hose. So just take the hose, the tubing, the plastic tubing, and wedge it tightly onto the end of the fill tube. There you go. Now we're going to feed this down through the hole. And now we can take the other end of the tubing and we're just going to feed it right into the bottle. This is an economy-sized bottle of soap, liquid soap. And now with that, this one's half empty, but imagine this being a full brand new bottle. You won't have to refill that for months. So it'll take a few seconds, but once the tube is filled, the soap comes right out. Now you have one less excuse for not doing the dishes.
This week we're helping Danette Richards rehab the kitchen in her 87-year-old house. Alan's back at the shop building the replacement cabinets while Danette and I remove the existing cabinet doors to get them ready to paint.
we're going to patch a few of these holes too, where you have this handle here, and I know you've selected just the knobs.
Yeah.
So we'll take both of these out and we'll patch these holes, and then we'll see if these holes line up with your new hinges, and then we can start sanding and painting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll let you take care of that.
So while Danette removes the rest of the doors, I get a workstation set up outside to prep them for paint.
Okay, it's
Okay,
the
you got-
last one.
You already finished?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you did that fast.
I try to work fast.
We're actually using automobile body filler here instead of wood putty because it dries harder and much more quickly.
And also, any little indentation that you might have, this takes care of it as well.
I'm excited because it's going to be a lot lighter kitchen in there.
All right, let's just turn those over and we can go ahead and get you started on the sanding, the fun part.
Oh, sanding.
All you want to do is keep moving, and you want to go with the grain. So we'll turn it on. That's all you want to do. So we don't have to strip all of the paint off. You just mainly want to get, we're just kind of knocking the gloss off of it a little bit.
Okay.
And we'll use a finer grit paper later, but that is really all you'll want to do on the first pass. That'll be good. Now I would like to give you something here.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
It's real
And
attractive.
some really cool shades here. You'll really like these. And then I'm going to skip out on you again and go back inside. Don't look at me like that. And then go back inside, and I'm gonna do the drywall, try to patch up where we had a little bit of damage on that. So
Okay, so
one
I
at a
see why
time.
you're so clean and I'm not.
Well, it's all in the planning.
Danette has the cabinet doors under control, but when I get inside to tackle the drywall, her friend Mark has arrived to handle our electrical problems.
So Mark, I don't know what happened there. We broke the bottom part of that thing off.
Just a broken receptacle behind the refrigerator. Swap it out real quick.
Now what did you find here? I see a new wire, but this doesn't look like a new wire.
Well, it's an old wire. They had that old piece of speaker wire tied into it in the junction box up there above the ceiling.
Huh.
So we just cleared that up, and we got a wire for the vent hood now.
Hey, that's lucky. Well, maybe you can stick around and do some drywall work.
Okay, I can do that.
Once he's finished in that area, I'm back on track with the drywall touch-ups. I'm also filling in the screw holes and the low places in the cabinet boxes before I clean them with degreaser to prepare them for paint.
The last step in getting these ready to paint is a little more sanding.
Danny.
Yeah, come on, you were so good at it though. So here's your little friend. Just sand the outside of the boxes and we'll be ready to paint in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Once Danette and her sander have done their work, we start masking off the floor in preparation for painting, but that will have to wait for day 2.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Once we get inside, we're able to quickly install the new cabinets. The crucial element here is lining up the faces of the old and the new. That's why Alan is clamping and screwing the face frames together before we attach them to the wall. It's also important that each piece be plumb and level so that it all looks good together. The cabinet boxes are looking great now, so it's time to trick out the doors.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with the cabinet doors the way they are right now, but there's a way that we can kind of dress it up with applying some molding. I picked up 4 different kinds, and maybe you like one of these.
I like this one, the simplicity of it, but it seems a little wide.
We can actually use the table saw, cut it down a little bit, make it more like a bead molding.
So that's what we do before we lay one out to see how it works.
Okay, we'll line this up, and what do you think?
Wow. Perfect.
You want to do them all?
I think so.
All right, easy enough.
While Danette and I begin applying the molding to the door fronts with glue and brad nails, Alan is inside getting ready to spray the cabinet boxes with primer. He's using a high-volume, low-pressure sprayer from Wagner that'll create a very smooth finish without lots of overspray, which is very important when you're spray painting inside your home. The key to this kind of application is slow, consistent passes that overlap each other by about 50% until the object is uniformly covered. The beauty is that it goes quickly and leaves no brush marks. While we keep plugging away at this kitchen remodel, why don't you check out this week's best new product with Jody?
You know, there's nothing like having an organized kitchen because it makes cooking fun, but it also makes your cleanup go a lot faster.
Yes, you have the swing out waste bin. It is a great tool that you can put in your kitchen. It actually swivels on the door.
See, that's neat for cleanup. You know, when you're retrofitting your kitchen, typically you don't have a trash can that's accessible inside your cabinet. And even if you do, you've got to open the door and then pull the waste bin out. But with this one, Shay, it mounts to the door, and as you open the door, it actually kind of rolls out towards you, and the lid pops off at the same time.
Right.
So you've freed up your hands.
Right, another great thing, you can put your trash can liner in and snap it in so it'll stay in place.
Now, all the tools come with it, right?
Yes, it's very easy to do. They have templates for you to use and just a few screws. All you need is a screwdriver.
God, that's fantastic. So not only does it make installation easy, but it's going to make your kitchen cleanup that much easier as well.
Danette Richards' kitchen remodel is moving along. Out front, Chelsea has returned to help Danette work on some easy new curtains for the room using a no-sew adhesive tape technique.
Danette, do you sew at all?
Huh.
No, that's not your.
No, not my skill area. This is so easy.
Yeah, it's a little time consuming, but I guess sewing a curtain the same length and stuff would take the same amount of time, really. All right, that looks good.
While they're working on that and the paint is drying, I decided to finish day 2 by installing the new roof vent for the range hood. When we install the hood tomorrow, it should be ready to go.
We've had 2 very productive days here on Danette Richards' kitchen facelift project, and our doors are completely dry, our countertops are on their way. By the end of the day, this project will be complete. But considering the condition of the kitchen right now, I don't think Danette believes it's going to happen.
He said it was going to be finished today, but I'm just not sure how. There's a lot more to do, and you only have so many hours in a day. I do like the way this is turning out, though. I think the colors look great, really lightening this room up.
Obviously, she's a little stressed, but I think we have just the thing to lighten her mood.
Right. Hey, perfect timing. I want to show you a little something. First of all, go around to the other side.
Okay.
And I want you to imagine you're in your kitchen,
Okay.
in front of the sink, looking out the window, preparing gourmet meals on this countertop.
Oh,
It's actually a plastic laminate, and this is kind of neat how they've created this edge that looks a lot more like granite. What do you think?
oh my gosh, this is way better than I expect. I don't know what I expected, but this is amazing.
Thankfully, this top isn't as heavy as real stone, so we can install the sink and faucet out here before we carry it inside. One of the steps people often overlook is caulking the underside of the sink before it goes in the countertop. That's probably the reason the old top was water damaged.
And my clip's in the way. Ow.
Oh, what's your finger?
Thank you.
Eventually, the sink is installed with no major injuries, and the whole thing is ready to go into the kitchen. We're using construction adhesive to secure the tops to the cabinets and to secure the backsplashes to the walls. It's really amazing what a difference these few surfaces make to the look of this kitchen. Back outside, it's time to get that new hardware on those freshly painted cabinet doors, and a gauge block is a great way to make sure the hinges are consistently spaced on the doors. Then we just have to get them back in the right spots.
There you go. You got some good luck. Yeah.
When you're installing the doors, the important thing is keeping them square to the frames and the margins consistent from the top and bottom. Then the pulls complete the doors.
Oh, those look good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Finally, Mark is back to install the new range hood and offer friendly advice.
Wow. It's new and shiny.
Let's keep it that way.
That means don't cook, right?
Right.
But even if she does, this Braun hood will clear the air. Its 4-speed blower moves up to 450 cubic feet of air per minute, and it even includes a sensor that turns the fan on when it senses excessive cooking heat. So Danette is cleaning up the stove just in case. Meanwhile, Chelsea is installing the hardware they need to hang their new curtains.
And I put them midway so that it kind of covers, so you can be in here but no one else can see you, but you still get the daylight.
Nice. I like that.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
And then of course you can always pull them apart if you
Oh,
want to
good.
see out and be Gladys Kravitz.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's me. That's, yeah, Gladys of the neighborhood. Wow.
Right.
Yeah, I love it,
the other
Chelsea.
one. Awesome.
Aaron wants to know, what do you recommend as the quickest and easiest way to unclog a drain?
If your sink is clogged like this, you're definitely looking for the quickest and easiest way to get it unclogged. And the over-the-counter drain cleaners work most of the time, but they can be a little damaging to your pipes. Before you try that, try this. This is a drain snake, and it has a brush or sometimes several hooks on the end that'll allow you to reach down and grab any hair that may be clogging up your sink, particularly in a bathroom. But if you have a lot of grease and food, you need a little pressure, and everybody has one of these. Very, very effective in unclogging the sink. But if you have a double sink like this, you'll want to make sure you take your stopper on the open side of the sink and seal that off, so that that'll put more pressure on the side of the plunger, and then that'll be very successful in blowing through the clogged area. Then follow that up with plenty of hot water.
Danette Richards' kitchen was dark, dated, and feeling the weight of its age. But after 3 days of hard work and a little good luck, she has a bright, stylish, and completely functional kitchen that she can be proud of, whether she cooks in it or not.
Well, Danette, I'll tell you, you were pretty skeptical about the whole process this morning. You really didn't think this thing was going to come together today.
I was definitely skeptical, but this is amazing, amazing. From the chaos that was happening today, I can't believe it.
Well, you definitely contributed, and you really did a lot to make sure that this thing worked today.
Yeah, it was hard.
You know, one of the things about a project like this, a kitchen facelift, is not only is it a dramatic before and after picture, it's also a fantastic way to spend money on your home. It's some of the best return on your investment that you can get for your home improvement dollar. Hey, thanks so much for being with us. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you next week right here on Today's Homeowner. Also cookbooks. You use these a lot?
Yeah, no. It is? I thought that one, oh, it goes on the nose. Okay, let me start over.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to like, comment, and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified of new videos.
And be sure to click around and watch some more videos while you're here.